Good morning, one and all. Thank you very much for all your lovely comments yesterday on the Tony Carr video. I really enjoyed it, as I'm sure you could tell, because I told you so. Today we're going to be doing a transfer roundup, basically looking at all the deals, all the rumours, all the news, some true, some not, mostly not, that are all relevant to West Ham. I did actually go and have a little look on Sky Sports News, just to see if there was anything on there, just not just West Ham, to get a feel for what everybody else is doing. But quite frankly, I think Sky Sports News lost the plot at the moment. They really have. It just seems to be just a load of crap on there. I'm tuning in for some sort of transfer news and transfer gossip, because it is the transfer window. It's just buried in there somewhere. I don't mean the cricket or the boxing or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. If there's a big cricket, there's obviously the test is on at the moment. If there's a big boxing story, fine. I understand why it'd be there. That's not what I'm talking about. It's just Sky Sports News at the moment seems to have forgotten people's reason for tuning in, and what they're trying to do at the moment is convince you that you care about a load of peripheral crap that you don't actually care about. Just give me the news that I want to see, or at least have a sort of schedule, an itinerary, and say, 11:15, we'll have Dharmesh in the studio, we'll be discussing the transfer news for 15 minutes. Then whatever, cricket at half past. Just let us know. Anyway, I'm going to do it anyway. So firstly, we'll start off with the big one, and the big one. When I say the big one, I mean a player. What's his name? Sasa Kaladic. Sasa Kaladic. There you go. That'll have to do you, won't it? 6'7" striker. Austrian international, apparently. Well, not apparently. He is actually an Austrian international. We've been linked with this guy before. He plays for Stuttgart, by the way. Can't see it. I can't see it. Now, there were a lot of rumours doing the rounds yesterday that this was the guy. There was a sort of prominent German journalist who was saying a deal has been made. The agreement between West Ham and Stuttgart has been done. There's just personal terms to be agreed with a player. But I just think it's an easy link to make. I look at him, and whilst, yes, he's tall, right? So we like a corner. We like a set piece at West Ham, right? I just can't see it. Okay, he's tall, he might be able to nod the ball in, but actually when you're looking at those other attributes that we've already discussed numerous times that David Moyes is looking for, from a striker being, sort of physical, fast, ability to pull out wide, no. I just don't think he's that. So anyway, it's been poo-pooed by a couple of people, this story as well. Apparently we are still in for the Mandalorian, which is good news, I think. I did do a 15-minute video the other day explaining why I thought Brozier was a good fit for West Ham. And even in the video I said, I know he's only scored 6 goals, but X, Y, Z, these are the reasons why I think he would be a good fit for West Ham, why I think he'd flourish at West Ham. Still, under the video, someone said he's only scored 6 goals, I don't know what you think he'll bring to West Ham. Well, I'd literally just done a video explaining what I think he would bring to West Ham. Anyway, that seems to be ongoing. There's another story at the moment. So a couple of weeks ago, it was suggested that we may be looking to offload Arthur Masuaku to Fulham was the primary destination. It does appear there was at one point they were saying Fulham are interested in Ryan Fredericks, Masuaku and Yarmolenko. Anyone else take David Martin while you're there? Try and prize Mark Noble out of retirement. So basically it looks like Fulham next season, if they do make all these transfers, then it will be basically like West Ham light. I do joke. I think they might do have a half decent season next season. Actually, Fulham. When I say so, there's a possibility if they invest correctly, they might stay up. But it looks like David Moyes might be looking to hang on to Masuaku. Now, I think on the outset, this looks as if it might be a bad idea. But what I think this is, I think David Moyes has got this budget. And I think it's okay. For West Ham, it's a decent budget. For Man City, a crap budget, right? But whatever it is, I think he's now looking at it thinking, okay, look, I've got the centre-back in. I want to get the forward in. There's a couple of other positions that I want to get in. Can I do the left-back as well? Possibly not. And I just wonder if he's looking at it thinking, okay, so Fowler's all right there on the right-back. Johnson's back up. We've got Ashby there. Maybe if Johnson is also back up for left-back as well and I keep Arthur, can I wait another year and deal with the left back situation, then that's only my interpretation of the situation. So I think he might retain Arthur for one more season, just rather than let's say he got to the end of his budget, he had £30 million left, rather than spending 15 million on the winger, 15 million on a fullback. But you might be thinking, I'll put the fullback situation off for 6 months, for 12 months, and we'll just go and get the winger. Actually, the winger is another story. So that is obviously Keane Lewis Potter. Interesting stories on here, which is that both Brentford and Watford yesterday had a deal rejected for Lewis Potter. Now that's really interesting on numerous levels, actually. I think firstly the fact that Brentford are interested, I take that to be a good thing. Before I go any further, this video is sponsored by the OneFootball app, which you can download by clicking the link below. You know the drill by now. There's a QR code up there. Scan that, download it to your phone. If you haven't done so already, why not? It's free. And what it does, it takes all the news from all the newspapers, all the websites, all the Premier League and global news, and it basically searches for keywords like West Ham, Keane Lewis Potter, all that, and it puts them all into one place for you, so you don't have to go searching for the West Ham news. It does it for you, delivers it to your phone. As I say, it's free. Use the link below. They know you've come from Hammers Chat. But I like the fact that Brentford are interested in this player, because I think they do scout a good player. They do know what they're doing, Brentford. They really do. But the fact that Watford are in from is neither here nor there. Lewis Potter was Hull's best player last season. I mean, not only did he win the club award, but he also the players voted him to be the best player, and the fans did as well. He's very direct. He doesn't spend a lot. I've said on a few times that I do think that there are. I always feel Benrahma, when he plays wide, not in the middle, when he plays wide, he slows the game down because he doesn't have the pace to beat a player. So basically he'll stop, go to a standstill, try and stand his opposition player up, almost stand the fullback up and then try and dribble around him or do something. I think he slows the counter-attack down. This kid doesn't do that. He goes for it. He's pretty much his first touch is to try and knock it past a player and then create a race and run. In fact, in many respects, he tries to do what Felipe Anderson should have been, if you know what I mean. Also, he's quite happy to go. His first touch will either be directly down the wing so he can make the cross, or will be a flick inside so he can base. He's very direct. He'll go and try and just make a beeline for the goal. I like this player. Do I think the trouble is there's such almost a pressure on someone repeating the journey of Jarrod Bowen, who of course came from Hull as well. I think it's really hard to come from the Championship and be as good as Bowen. Come from the Championship, score loads of goals, be a club's top scorer, and there were times last season Bowen would look like one of the best players in the Premier League, and then get international recognition. He doesn't have to be as good as that. He just, somewhere between Bowen and Vlasic would be good. More Bowen than Vlasic, obviously. Vlasic on the way out, we've discussed that a little bit. No extra news on that, but he's being pimped around, really. There's a couple of other stories as well, as you probably know. The Areola one, we need to wrap up relatively quickly. The reason being is we only have the option for as long as his contract remains. So his loan, basically, we've got a buyout clause, which gives us, for the duration of his loan, we can make the deal permanent. The moment the loan elapses, he then technically becomes a PSG player and would have to renegotiate it. So the permanent transfer fee is 11 million, not a massive amount of money, as I'm sure you'd agree. The sticking point is the wages, and because he is on big wages now. He's on over 100 grand a week. That's the problem. That's the problem that PSG have got. A lot of these big clubs is shifting, moving players on who they deem to be surplus to requirements, and he is surplus to requirements at PSG now. The fact that his wages are so high is prohibitive for other clubs. And at West Ham, we've shown we can pay big money. Funny enough, Andy Carroll was probably, I think, the first player we paid massive big money for, 90 grand a week. He's on his way to Bruges, apparently. And then we've shown that we can pay it. We paid Javier Hernandez close to 140 grand a week, covered Lingard's wages. There are others. We've shown that we can pay high wages for what we deem to be a superstar player. I'm just not sure we're the type of club that can pay 90 grand a week, 100 grand a week to a goalkeeper. I do think that sort of decimates the budget a little bit. So there's clearly some negotiation there. I know Fulham are interested. and this is where I think you do have to negotiate. You do have to be a little bit clever, because there's no way Fulham are going to pay him £100,000 a week. They're just not. That's just not going to happen. So in that sense, sort of why should we? So I guess there's a negotiation here if we can get him for 60 grand a week, 70 grand a week. I don't know, but we need to get it sorted, because there's a couple of other players who we might have been interested in, which is obviously Johnston, who was available on free. He's now signed for Crystal Palace, and it looks like Pope has. Well, it doesn't look like he has. Pope has signed for Newcastle. So our other options, our sort of second and third choice in terms of goalkeepers have now gone, which I don't think strengthens our bargaining position, because if I know that, you know that. Certainly Areola's representatives will know that, and they'll be saying to West Ham, well, you probably need to pay us the money. I do like him. I think it's a risk-free transfer. We know he's a good goalkeeper. We don't have to worry about him settling or fitting in with the group and all that sort of stuff. Let's just get it done. The one thing I do hope is that we don't spend too much time on the Areola deal, that we're not focusing on the other ones. I don't believe, when I hear this Breuer talk, the Mandalorian brochure, I don't believe that we're in this position where we're preparing to make a £30 million bid. That's the news. We must have made it. We must have made contact with the club. We must have made contact with the player, or at least something's going on there. But we don't want to dither so much that we allow somebody to come in. You look at this Lewis Potter thing. I just hope, for instance, if Lewis Potter is a target, that we're not thinking, okay, we'll get the Areola thing wrapped up, we'll get that deal done, and then we'll get on Lewis Potter. Because as we've said, there's already other clubs bidding for him. You may well find that by the time you get to the point where you think, okay, now we've done Areola, we've got all that signed off, we're going to go and make a bid for Lewis Potter, you may well find that someone else has basically got in there and nicked him from under your noses. Not panicking about that in particular. I'm pretty sure we're not just negotiating with one player at the moment. I would not be surprised if what we see is almost like a flurry of activity, or within 3 or 4 days we see a couple of players announced. Hopefully, fingers crossed anyway.